It's your boy T Bear here in reaction. Today is Music Monday. It's Monday, the first one of 2024. So last time I did a video called "Why Being a Hip Hop Producer Sucks" as well too, but this time let me see. I don't know why being I'm trying to figure who was that by. Trying to figure who was it by though, but yeah, it talked about like how producers get stiff. It was from Hip Hop Man. Producers get stiff off their. Shout out to Abe McCree. He did a reaction to this. I might check that out on my own though. He had a return response to that. And shout out to Abe McCree as well too, man. Dude have some cool videos as well too. And he's a dope producer as well too. I definitely have been following because I've been looking for some YouTube and tutorial advices on my videos and on some my beat makers as well too, and sometimes checking stuff out, and I like his input. But anyway, let me not get off the subject a little bit. So I did a video about how why hip hop producer being a hip hop producer sucks and everything, and not something had to do with the revenue and the finance of being a producer as well too. So this one came across from KXVI, and this I think is very new. Is how producers really make money off of his song. I think I'm wondering, I could be wrong, that that the one I looked up is hip hop producer was came out after this as well too. Producer sucks. After this, let me double check real quick though. But still, insights of this insight, it's still a contrary of it just came out way before this because this came a month ago. But still, this is contrary of that beat as well too. I mean, of that video as well too. So I definitely something to check out as well too. Like I said, if I'm getting into, producing as well too, and I'm trying to get into heavies now as well too. And I think I checked some videos from the guy as well too. The KXC, yeah, he's one that does a lot of videos about producers as well too. I think he has and he's like been the spokesperson for some of these producer ads that comes on my Facebook as well too. His name is KXV1 or it's some wrong new. Anyway, we'll check out this video called how producers really make money off hit songs. So this is a good one to check out. So let's get it.
Music producers can make a ton of money on hit songs, but if you're just starting out, it can get super confusing trying to understand how producers actually make money off their songs. How do I collect royalties? What do I do if someone steals my beat? And how much money will I make from a hit? This video will answer all those questions and more, so make sure you stick around to the end of this one. To explain how producers
get check him out as well too, because he got a lot of keyboards
paid off their hit songs, we're going to create a hypothetical scenario where you get your first hit song, and you need to start from zero to make sure that you're collecting every single penny that you're owed. And to make sure this information is 100% accurate, I've brought on 3 experts on getting producers paid. Kyle, an amazing entertainment lawyer, Mike, the director of music at BeatStars Publishing, and Greg Mateo.
If you're not familiar with BeatStars, that's like they said on that video I did as well too, that BeatStars is a great place to get your beats on there as well too, to get recognized.
The president of BeatStars Publishing. So, you just got word that you got your first song with a major artist. You're excited as hell, but you have no idea where to start when it comes to getting paid. So let's run through how it goes down. The first thing that happens is the label will hit you up for all of your legal information. This is going to be your legal name, your address, and possibly your BMI and ASCAP numbers. They'll also want your lawyer and management's contact information. And at this point, you might be wondering, do producers really need to get a lawyer?
I would definitely say yes. They can help you navigate a lot of different things, right? They can help you navigate making sure that whatever that manager is saying, oh yeah, this is the deal we're gonna do, it's true. Send the paperwork. And they can also help you, negotiate for placements and then working you all the way through the stages up until you even get paid.
After all your information is sent over, you're gonna need to negotiate the actual terms of the agreement. Having a lawyer can be super helpful because you don't have to actually talk to the labels yourself. Your lawyer can be the bad guy and kind of push for you without you coming off bad to the label's team. That being said, it's good to know industry standard terms for agreements so you aren't out here getting screwed over. What's a typical advance that a newer producer would get for a major placement?
A lot of times it depends on who the artist is. It also depends on how many people are on the song. It also depends on what that producer is able to negotiate. And that goes back to having a good lawyer. If we talk a major label advance, there should at least be $2,000 there. That should be the starting point. You should work your way up to as much as you can demand.
What percentage do producers normally get on the publishing?
Artists get 50%, producers get 50%. If it's more than one producer, they split it. That's typically how pub goes.
What percentage do producers normally get on master side of royalties?
There's 2 sides of it. There's the independent side and there's the major label side. So let's start with the most known side, which is the major label side. 2 to 5%, whatever it makes on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, all the big DSP platforms, right? Now, if an artist is independent, typically a producer is going to be entitled to, in my opinion, 10 to 15, 10 to 16%.
One thing I really want.
Hold on a second. Be right back. I'm back. Had to get a little dinner. Anyway, I met the rap producer, YouTuber. I meant to. I think I pronounced his first name is Av, not Ave. I think it's Avery, Avery, but it's Av. Probably Av, but Av McCree though. Definitely check his videos out though. But anyway, let's keep going though. This is very interesting as well too though. Shout out to this lawyer as well too though. Definitely that'd be some like I like it's low key informational for those law because you know other people had this like you know these made up like impression of a lawyer and all that stuff, dude. Like to see a lawyer like this, like especially a black lawyer, is pretty awesome. I mean, seems like very down to earth, not like you know, like he above everything and all as well too. It's like a cool dude, man. But anyway, let's keep going.
Want to mention is you never want to sign a buyout. A lot of times the labels will try to take advantage of younger producers and try to get them to sign away their master royalties and their publishing ownership, but you do not want to do this. In the long run, owning all your
I'm not in the industry or never made made beats, but never did anything to get into production. If I know that to just sign your life away, man. That's pretty much you're pretty much signing your life away just to get cash now. It's not worth that. I know that. That's not do that, man. For real. I meant to hit pause anyway. Unpause.
Publishing in all your masters is going to be so much better than just getting a big payday up front. Also, one big factor that can determine your percentage on a song is if you used a sample or not. So what happens if I use a sample? How do those typically get cleared?
Typically what happens when there is a sample being used, we tell the label what's the sample, who the owner is or whatever it may be, and then they reach out to clear it. It's what's called a approved sample. Artists and producers will equally split all of the money that
okay.
has to be paid to the sample owner. That's all it really is. The main thing, you want to make sure they're clear.
So let's say you got the terms of the contract all checked out and your lawyer gives you the green light to sign the contract. The money should be rolling in once you send that back, right? Well, not yet. Once you sign the contract, there's a few more hoops that you need to jump through in order to get your advance payment. This varies from label to label, but at the bare minimum, you're going to need to send over a signed tax form, which is a W-9 if you're from the US, and a W-8 if you're from outside the US. And you're also going to need to send an invoice to the label. Your invoice should look a little something like this, so feel free to pause the video right here. And to make an invoice for free, the best website that I found is invoicemaker.com.
Thank you for that as well too. I mean, I have one. It's cheap the way the pay for it as well too, but I need to find that site, Invoice Maker. Thank you for this, Kay.
So definitely check that out. Once you've got the invoice,
only because there's DJ, because you know I do DJ, and some folks want invoices, like especially if I like DJ event for a school stuff like that. There's time they want invoices, so this is a good site to go to. So I appreciate that as well too.
And the tax form sent back over to the label, they should pay you via bank transfer anywhere from a few days to a few weeks later. Now, all this that we've been talking about is what will happen if the label hits you up before the release of the song like they should. But what would you do if someone steals your beat and releases it?
First thing I do is I look at the track. I mean, how many streams does this have? What platforms is it out on? And then I go to YouTube and I'm looking to see who's the label. I'm reaching out and I'm trying to get clarity on like, this songs came out, there's no agreement in place, we don't have any proposed terms. Please send over your proposed terms to clear this record properly. 6 times out of 10, they're gonna hit us back. 4 times out of 10, we do what's called a DMCA takedown. So we go to all the platforms, the major ones, and we do DMCA takedowns and take all the music down.
What should a producer who they don't have a lawyer, what should they do to take action to like start getting paid for that placement that they got?
The first thing that you want to do is go and get you a copyright. There's a website called cosign.com. You use Cosign, get you a copyright. As long as you have some type of application, you can show to say, look, I got a copyright application that's already ready. So when you go to them, they'll know you're serious. The second thing is, if you don't know anybody, typically what I do, even when I know people, is every YouTube page typically has an about. And that about at the bottom, it typically has view email address once you click the box and it shows you their email address. So find a manager, find the artist's email, the booking email, put all those emails on one. In the subject, put urgent, copyright clearance. Just write a message. Hi, my name is such and such. I produced this song. You know, this song was used without my permission. I'm very, interested in potentially taking it down. Before I do that, I would like to see if there's someone can send up a proposed terms to clear this properly. Please let me know within 48 hours. You should get a response back. There's something, I shouldn't even talk about this on here. There's this thing called a CCB. Producers that don't have a lawyer can literally go on the CCB, I think it's ccb.gov, and for claims that are $25,000 or less, you can actually file without a lawyer a copyright claim against anyone.
So let's say that all the terms are figured out and your hit song finally
Sorry, so this is definitely some informational thing to check out as well too. I'm liking this so far.
It's time to properly register the song so that you're getting every penny on the back end that you're owed. And to do that, you need to understand the different kind of royalties that you can make and where you need to register your song. Royalties fall into two different categories: master royalties and the composition royalties. What's the difference between the master side and the composition side of royalties?
So music separated into two sides, as you said. Master side is the recorded music, meaning what you hear on Spotify or Apple, or like the finished version. Composition is the writers, the producers that it took basically to make that song.
If you get a major song and you register it with BMI or ASCAP, are you collecting all of your royalties?
You are not collecting all of them. You have your performance side, which BMI, ASCAP, CSAC, companies like that are performance rights organizations. What that means is every time you hear a song like the radio, or you go into a supermarket and they're playing a song, that is a performance royalty. And then you got mechanicals, which is essentially every time you push play on Spotify, on YouTube, on Apple Music.
So to collect all the money you're owed, you need to sign up with a PRO, which would be like BMI or ASCAP if you're in the US. You need to sign up with Sound Exchange. You need to register with the label directly so that they can send you your master royalties. And finally, you need to get a publisher so that you can collect all your publishing royalties. I personally use BeatStars Publishing to collect all of my publishing royalties, and so far it's been amazing. And it's super easy to register songs inside of BeatStars. All you have to do is put in everyone's legal name and percentage, and you're good to start collecting. And one thing that's super nice with BeatStars Publishing is once you register the song in there, it automatically registers with your PRO like BMI or ASCAP. So if you want to make sure that you're collecting all the money you're owed, check out BeatStars Publishing.
I mean, I already just BeatStars to upload my bass, but the stuff like that, that's nice. I like this.
First link in the description down below. I've been with them for over 2 years now and I swear by it. But anyways, one very confusing part of all these royalties is knowing when you'll get paid. So if I go on right now and I register a new placement that I got, how long will it typically take before I start seeing any money come in from that?
6 to 9 months, I would say. It could be sooner than that, but it'll be like small increments. It takes a while.
How much money would you typically see if you own 50% of the publishing on like a million stream song?
On Spotify, $1,000 per million streams, then 50%, you get 500. Now, Apple, a little bit more, and Tidal, a little bit more.
Now those numbers can change song to song as different countries pay different amounts per stream. But if we take that number of $500 per million streams, if you owned 50% publishing on a song that got, say, 1 billion streams, you'd be looking at over $500,000 in publishing income from streaming alone. And then once you add in your PRO checks and your master royalties, you can see how this stuff starts to really add up. Now all that's great, but there's a ton of misconceptions and myths out there about how collecting your money for publishing or royalties work. And this misinformation can end up costing you thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. But before I get into that, if you've learned anything from this video so far, hit that subscribe button so I can keep making more videos like this for you guys. What are the most common misconceptions about collecting your publishing?
One of the biggest ones is people just think someone else is going to do it for you. That's something that I hear all the time. So the main thing you need to understand is you want to be registering all your own publishing. And then obviously your PRO is collecting on the performance side, and then you're covered.
Is it a good idea to hold out for a big publishing deal and not collect anything until you get a big advance offered to you?
I would say 98% of the times, no. Because what's going to happen is you're going to just rely on waiting on that big record. So a lot of times what happens is, yeah, you could have a decent sized record and be offered a deal, but in reality, maybe that deal wasn't the right deal at that time. If you do a deal too early, you're going to end up giving up ownership on something, and you're going to be stuck in a deal with the songs you have. And then if you have that big record that comes and you're already in that deal, where's the leverage? But if you're collecting collecting your records and the money is flowing. Because here's the other thing. Publishers want to see that money claimed and moving. Then when that really big record comes where everybody's coming throwing $500,000 $1 million deals at you, you have more leverage and you could probably get more from that.
How soon after a song releases of mine do I need to register it to make sure that I'm gonna get paid and that my royalties don't get put in the black box after a certain amount of time where you can't collect it if you haven't registered it in time?
I say like later than a year if you can. Don't wait around. There's no reason to wait around.
If I have a placement and it's been out for a while and I haven't registered it, what are the steps I should take to try to get some money off of it?
First thing I would do is ask yourself, is there an agreement? If there's no agreement, that means there probably was never any proposed terms sent over. So once you have that, that's how you really get paid at the end of the day. You can go register the publishing on that. Secondly, if you get an advance, which you most likely should, they will tell you how to get paid. Third thing is you'll have something called an LOD on your agreement. That is going to be for your master royalties. The labels pay out the master royalties. And then the fourth thing, which is Sound Exchange, which you'll get another LOD called a Sound Exchange LOD. That all ties off of the master side. It has nothing to do with publishing. It's all on the master side. But unfortunately, man, a lot of times we're dealing with people with no agreements. They find out about songs and they want to, hey, how do I get paid? What you should be doing is trying to get an agreement.
If you want to know all the ways you can get your first major placement with a big...
All right, cool. This sounds good. I like that. This is like something I can definitely watch on my own to get to keep my ideas as well too. I mean, just right now I'm just making beats just to make fun of, but just for fun. But if somebody actually want it and it becomes a big thing, it's something to look at through as well too, though. But this was a good video. Shout out to K for doing as well too. I'm not gonna say the whole name, but anyway, other than that though, KXVI or K. Let me say that. 20. I gotta remember my normal news. But anyway, other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T-Bird signing off. One love.